What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. I got to bring this to your attention because it's imperative. It is of the essence that you hear this. Now, here is the situation. A lot of people um, are unbeknownst to the fact they're living in a dead system. This system is on its last legs, and they've been, pushing it forward for however long they can. And it's interesting because you're starting to see the warning signs, right? And things are happening at rapid pace. And you see here the winds of strife being held back, by God, are slowly starting to come on in. And you're starting to see increasing crime and wickedness and in morality. It's just a declension that you're seeing worldwide. It's almost as if civil society has been broken down into the lowest of the low. And it comes with this. This is all a global plan. I mean, you read books. Any of you know who Walter Veith, Veith, who that is, he has an interesting testimony, and he has a lot of good videos on, his conversion to the faith, and he talks about how Alice Bailey, an author, writes about the year 2025, and that's the unification of the forces. Clearly, I believe that individual's talking about the forces of evil, right? And you're starting to see everything come into place. And I believe that if you believe in the cosmic week, which is of 6,000 years, when Jesus came and died, it was around 4,000 years since creation. And that was in 27 AD to around 31 AD when he died on the cross. And if you take that and add 2,000 years more, it's not time setting, but you start to wonder, the 6,000 year mark where sin will have it run its course. 2027 is an interesting date, so around those time periods. So anyways, all that to say is the things happening in the world are not by coincidence. There's a lot going on, and I think that ending the reign of a currency, it has a huge factor in a lot of things. So with that being said, look at what Soros said in 2009.
But the system we have now has actually broken down, only we haven't quite recognized it. And so you need to create a new one. And this is the time to do it.
In the United States, how worried are you about the budget deficit and maybe about the possibility of inflation?
Well, certainly a decline in the value of the dollar is necessary in order to compensate for the fact that the U.S. economy will remain rather weak, will be a drag on the global economy. China will emerge as the motor replacing the U.S. consumer. And of course it's a smaller motor because the Chinese economy is much smaller. So the world economy will have less of a motor. So it will move forward slower than it has in the last 25 years. But China will be the engine driving it forward, and the U.S. will be actually a drag that's being pulled along through a gradual decline in the value of the dollar. So there would be a slow decline in the value of the dollar, a managed decline. And that would be the adjustment that it needs to be accomplished.
So there you have it. So this is why I say be careful with this narrative that they're pushing, because China's not going to take over. But they're allowing for that narrative to be pushed on, getting off of this fiat system and onto a digital system. They want to get rid of your paper money and go into a surveillance state where all transactions are digitalized. And I think that's very important to take note of. It's not a joke, and I think that you're seeing a perfect execution of that, where people are saying, "Oh, we have to keep up pace with China. Oh, we have to, or else we're going to get left behind." Make no mistake, the U.S. will not lose its supremacy. It will not. But they need some kind of narrative in order for the shift to occur. So that's my 2 cents. Here is a chart of the U.S. banking system. Biggest monthly loss in deposits in the history, since this has been taken note of. Loss in bank deposits, negative $389 billion. And I'll save this video for tomorrow, but this one's another interesting one that I'll have to show. But anyways, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channels, the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.